Cello, cello. I am sorry I am late for this show. I just remembered I had this show scheduled. How is everybody doing this beautiful evening on this Tuesday evening? This Carmelo Anthony case and the Metcalf family has the world turned upside down right now. And first, I want to say I thank God for being ahead of my life. And what I want to say is nobody never wants to address that Austin put his hands on Carmelo. Okay. He started the whole incident. Now, see, where I come from, you don't put your hands on people. You don't shove them. You don't do nothing. So while he's talking about what kind of people, what kind of parents Carmelo Anthony had, Jeff Metcalf, the fake Christian and man that he is, who raised bullies to think they can shove a kid and put their hands on somebody because they don't have to obey them. So Christians don't call people watermelon felons. See, calling someone derogatory names like watermelon felons contradicts the core Christian teaching of love, respect, and kindness towards all people. If you say you forgave him, you forgave Carmelo, you should never call him a name. But see, this Christian ain't practicing what he preached. You know, he's a low down, dirty person. Because first of all, you raised a son to push another kid or shove them if they didn't listen to them. Your child started this mess. The phrase watermelon felon combines a historically harmful racial stereotype with criminal labeling, using derogatory, racially charged language, fails to reflect the fruit of the Spirit, which includes love, peace, patience, and kindness. Look up Galatians 5:22, 23. Since you're supposed to be such a Christian, Jeff Metcalf. See, I'm about sick of y'all. All of you people, y'all want to be mad at us that support Carmelo. Yes, I support him. Somebody put their hands on him. And all of you people sitting around here talking about he the Murderer talking about Carmelo. You say nothing about Austin starting the mess. You say nothing about him putting his hands on him. And all of you dirty, low down people, all of y'all parents raised y'all to keep your hands to yourself. So nobody talks about Jeff Metcalf, about how he raised his kid to put his hands on somebody. And you need to stop it. Y'all got all of this stuff going on, but let's address the elephant in the room. Austin shouldn't have never put his hands on him to begin with. Never ever. But being that he was raised by somebody like Jeff Metcalf, he felt entitled to put his hands and to tell the boy to leave. He couldn't show that boy compassion, love, and kindness since it was raining. He didn't have to put his hands on him. Christians don't do this type of behavior. This ain't what Christians do. Christians don't call people watermelon felons. So your true colors are coming out, Jeff Metcalf, on what you really are. That's what you really are. You're saying exactly, you're showing your true colors now. You've been wanting to call that boy a watermelon felon. You might as well have called him the N-word. You invoking a racist stereotype. But what about your child? Talk about your child. Who shoved him first? Who started it? Let's get to the core of this. But y'all can't do that. Y'all can't talk about Austin Metcalf, who started this by putting his hands on somebody. You don't put your hands on nobody. All of us was taught, you keep your hands to yourself. Somebody put their hands on you, you strike back. That's how we was raised. And y'all want to act like you wasn't raised like that. Austin should have never put his hands on Carmelo. He started it. But y'all see nothing wrong like that. Y'all want people now, when somebody touched them or shoved them, they supposed to take it. They can't defend themselves. This is what the world has turned into. And by you calling him a watermelon felon shows just who you are. Just a racist man that I know you are. You've been wanting to say this. You've been wanting to say this. You're sickening. You were sick to call that boy a watermelon felon when your child started it. Jeff Metcalf, the father of slain Texas teenager Austin Metcalf, is facing criticism after making racist and inflammatory remarks about Carmelo Anthony during a recent podcast appearance. So if you don't think that was a racist, and he is a racist, Jeff Metcalf is a racist. He been wanting to say that. He been wanting to say it. And like I say, when people talk about him or talk to him, how come nobody asked him? Why do you explain your son pushing Carmelo? Nobody wants to ask that question. But they got all of this hate calling Carmelo All kind of names. He getting what he deserving. He didn't start it. He didn't start it. And it ain't none of your business, Jeff Metcalf, who call yourself a Christian. You calling yourself a Christian? This ain't what Christians do. And you talking about you not racist. Mm-hmm. And then you've been thinking this all this time. So, my question to Jeff Metcalf, explain why your son pushed Carmelo. Explain why your son started this fight. To all of you people going against Carmelo, he didn't start it. And y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself. That boy did not start it. Austin and Hunter Metcalf started this fight with this boy. He put hands on him first. Ask Jeff Metcalf, what kind of son did he raise? That's what you do. You ask him why everybody wants to make Carmelo out to be the bad guy. He didn't start it. And all of y'all was taught to keep your hands to yourself. Christians don't go around calling people watermelon felons. You never liked him. You didn't want to forgive him. All that stuff was a publicity stunt. You wanted them people to kiss your ass. You pathetic. You a deceiver. And calling someone a derogatory name like watermelon felon contradicts core Christian teachings regarding speech, love, and human dignity. If you was a true Christian and you said that you forgave him, you would be teaching. You said you forgave him, that every person is created in the image of God and deserve respect. The Bible explicitly commands believers to avoid corrupting talk and instead use words to build up others. Jesus taught that the second greatest commandment is to love your neighbor as yourself. Mark 12:31, which excludes racial slurs or demeaning labels. The New Testament warns heavily against using the tongue to curse people who are made in God's likeness. So individuals, hey Gwen, individuals who identify as Christians may still fail to live up to these standards. And that's what Jeff Metcalf, he didn't live up to no Christian standards when he said he forgave that boy and then gonna sit up and call him a watermelon felon. That ain't what Christians do. Don't be fooled by this man. This is what he was thinking. Like I say, he going around giving interviews. Why nobody asked that man why his son pushed Camelo? His son started it. But they ain't gonna answer that. They ain't gonna answer that question. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you know, Gwen, what gets me is he was on Jason Whitlock's channel today. So I'm all in the comments. I'm trying to find out. You know, I want to know why nobody is asking him why his son threw the first punch. I mean, why he shoved the boy. What kind of kids did he raise? Well, they shoved the boy and they felt the need to tell him he had to leave. Because they were white bullies, racist white bullies. And then he claims like he's a Christian. And if he said he forgave him. But they never want to talk about Camelo didn't start it. The boy put his hands on him. He shoved him. He started it. But they won't talk about that. They won't talk about that. You know, because they want to spin the narrative. They want to spin the narrative about Carmelo Anthony, an honor roll student, you know. And they set that boy up. They set him up. And how in the hell are they going to have some kids when they ask, well, do you think Carmelo was aggressive? Of course, the people going to say that. That was there and they saw what happened. There were no expert witnesses to say that boy was defending himself. No, they did say that the boy pushed her. Yeah, they did say that, but they was trying to say that, you know, Carmelo was the aggressor. The boy shoved him. They all testified to that. And once that boy put hands on him, he could do whatever he wanted to do. But they were saying, oh, he was the aggressor. He didn't have to do this. He didn't have to do that. And he told them, man, leave me alone because you ain't going to like what you get. And you have a right to tell somebody, get out of my face. You have a right. And he had a right to, don't put your hands on me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And all of them Port Lion kids, all of them Port Lion kids is gonna end up, this gonna eat them up inside. They're gonna be traumatized. These people are going to end up, you know, you remember seeing that movie, I Know What You Did Last Summer. These kids that made a decision was pressured. And they're never going to be happy. They're going to end up being DRUDADDICT. They're not going to be successful because they're going to be haunted. They're going to be haunted by this for the rest of their lives. And then they're going to know that they lied on this boy. And then this Eddie kid who invited him into the tent and then got up there and said he didn't know him, they think they gonna have a price to pay. God don't like ugly and he ain't found it pretty. They will not be able to go on with their lives. They lied. Girl and all of them had contradicting stories. Now we got people. This video that they're saying, that you can look at this video and they say you can clearly see where they were all around Carmelo. See, they had that video, it wasn't able to be shown. I feel as though Carmelo Anthony, he was railroaded. They knew what they was gonna do. And I don't think it would have mattered what them parents did. Jeff Metcalf was talking about he forgave him and he wanted to be with them. Yeah, whatever. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for one bit. That was all the show and dance. Yeah, that was all the dog and pony show. That man knew what he was doing. He knew when he went to that press conference. He knew. How you gonna have somebody showing up at a press conference? What did he want them to do? Give him the mic because they didn't dance to his music or kiss his behind? Or then who are they to talk about? Who is he to talk about? The parents didn't show up at this kid's sentencing. That's the parents' business. Maybe they couldn't take that emotionally. Ain't nobody got to dance to nobody music. Well, they should have been at his sentencing. Who wants to be at a sentencing for their son? You don't know how them people was feeling emotionally. Ain't nobody got to do nothing what Jeff Metcalf saying that they should do. They need to ask him the question of why his son threw the first punch. Why he shoved him. And so your son saw the video. Yeah, they had it, girl. They took it down. They took it down. That boy gonna come home. That boy is gonna come home. And they gonna be mad when the video is shown, when everybody wanna say, like, who? It wasn't self-defense. He was railroaded. He was bullied. I believe that boy Eddie set him up to go in that tent, even though he invited him. And then he was going to say, he didn't know him. And Gwen, these kids, they got so much hate for black people now. They ain't never liked black kids, black boys. I mean, I'm just keeping it 100. They might have not liked the boy. He had a different race of girlfriend. His family was well to do. He might have came to work. School dress nice. They don't like that. Don't take your kids around these all. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so they bullied him, you know. And to think that all of this, all the, this world is so dark right now and so crooked, you know, a crooked DA's office, all these people crooks, he didn't allow cameras. It's so much. It's so much. And I'm sick of people, talking about Carmelo, you know, like he's the worst thing on earth. And he didn't start it. The boy shoved him. You know, they won't ask him that question. Won't nobody say, well, Mr. Jeff Metcalf, why did your son shove Carmelo? Why did he think it was on him to tell him to get out of a tent and it's raining? Why couldn't he show compassion? Since you trying to claim like you raised these kids in a Christian home with Christian values and stuff. Girl, because he's a liar and a fake. And Christians don't call people watermelon felons if you forgave them. You weren't even supposed to utter that out of your mouth. You say you forgave Anthony Carmelo that day, then you should never speak negative on him. But that was all the dog and pony show, you know. And yeah, he forgave him because he know he raised a bully. And he probably knew that his boys had something to do with it. He know what he raised. But nobody asks Jeff Metcalf those questions. Like, your son started this. Why? Maybe if your son didn't push Carmelo, we wouldn't have this situation. Maybe if Jeff Metcalf was a better father, his son would have showed compassion. He wouldn't have been trying to be a bully. Since he was allegedly raised in a Christian household, his sons were good boys. They didn't show no compassion for their fellow teammate. It was raining in his canopies. They didn't own them. They didn't own them. Gwen, it's been so many people, and it's so many people that's in jail right now for crimes that they didn't commit. In Chicago here, girl, they had a police force that was locking up black men, putting crimes on them, serving 10 years, 20 years. I mean, they eventually got out. And maybe, whatever God is doing in Carmelo's on his behalf, because he's already showed that these people don't care about you. All of you black people, you better wake up. You can't touch these folks. They can do whatever they want to us. But we can't even defend ourselves. The jury's going to find you guilty. We can't plead the same defense laws as they plead. We're still not winning in this United States of America. They still see us as 3/5 of a human being. They don't care about us. They are still hunting us down, chasing us down, and shooting us like dogs. Like dogs. I'm looking at moderate day lynching in the United States of America. This world has not changed. The lynchings ain't stopped. Ain't nothing done changed. It's just now they so bold and they getting away with it. They showed us right there in Texas what they think about you. We're gonna move it to a different courthouse. We're not gonna allow cameras in there. We're not gonna allow certain witnesses. Only these people. You can't see these tapes, and we're gonna pick an all-white jury. They showed you what America cares about black people and our rights. Stay away from these people. It won't do nothing if you encounter them. You keep on going. If they say anything to you, please keep going. See, we from the old school. We was raised. If somebody put their hands on you, it's on. Now, if somebody lay their hands on you, you got to walk away. If somebody is halfway killing you, you probably got to pray to God, because the laws are not for us. They're just not for black people. As you can look in the state of Texas, they had a boy by the name of Casey Alice, did the same thing. That boy only got 10 years. 10 years. There's 3 other cases in Texas of kids of that same age that has unalived people due to certain circumstances. But the black boy gets 35 years. And all of them, some receive 10 years. Some only received 30 days. And that was one for unaliving 4 people. Do your research. Black people, we will never win in this United States of America. They will always sentence you more. I need y'all to remember that. Stay sucker free. If they put their hands on you, please. I'm saying this because this hurts to see that boy going through this when he done started. Because, see, I'm from the old school. And all the you black folks out here talking about what he did, what he shouldn't have did. All of y'all was raised. When somebody put your hands on you, it's on. You should keep your hands to yourself. So all of y'all some sick, sorry ass people, in my opinion. You sorry. You're pathetic. And yes, and I'm going to give this to God, because it's horrible Yes, this is a racist. This is a race issue. It still shows. And I'm not sticking with Carmelo because he's black. I'm sticking by Carmelo because somebody put their hands on him first. And he has a right to defend himself. Something they won't talk about. I'm sick of people talking about his parents who raised him to bring a knife. And it wasn't a knife, it was a compass to him. These United Snakes of America, these people, they are showing you what they think about you. Gwen Michelle, go back and look at her channel today. She did a story on the 1-year-old girl. 1-year-old baby killed unalive by the police in Mississippi. They shooting at us. We can't defend ourselves. And they getting away with it legally. Baby, they can hunt you down and shoot you from the back and get away from it. In this here, United States of America. Stay away. Stay sucker free. Stay away from the police. Stay away from people that don't mean you no good. If they bump into you, if they shove you, count to 10 and just say, it's okay. It's okay. Now, once they get into beating you, or maybe possibly taking your life, I guess that's when you can try to defend yourself. Because black against white, the black person will always lose. You can be right, you'll never win. I make myself clear. When it's black versus white, white versus black, the black person will always lose. You do not have a fighting chance. You don't have a fighting chance in this United Snakes of America. All of these people, you have made me so sick to my stomach. You won't ask Jeff Metcalf, why did his son push Carmelo first? Why did he feel entitled to tell him to leave? But y'all want to call Carmelo Anthony everything. And then this sucker calling himself a Christian, but he wants to call him a watermelon felon. Yeah. So, we will never win. You will never win against them people. And it's a shame. You go to work on the job, they don't want you to do better than them. They won't promote you because of your race. They say DEI, affirmative action, ain't never helped us. Because all they did was hire you, got their points. They didn't put no investment in you. They've let a few people to make it, to keep y'all to be the Uncle Toms and the Coons and the gatekeepers for them. Because all of you people saying, talking about Carmelo Anthony, and he did not stop that boy shoved him. Y'all know how y'all was raised. You keep your hands to yourself. See, when somebody put their hands on you, it's on and popping. But y'all want to act like y'all forget where y'all came from. Mhm. Yeah. And all of y'all taught y'all kids that. Keep your hands to yourself. You don't put your hands on nobody. But y'all seem to forget that. But y'all scared, you know, and may Austin Metcalf rest in peace. And his brother Hunter ain't gonna never sleep right neither, cause he know what happened. All of them. They're gonna do a documentary on them and all of them kids. They're gonna be messed up because they lied. They told a different version. They were young and dumb. And now you have a boy who didn't throw the first punch sitting in prison. But it's all about Carmelo Anthony's family. It ain't nobody talking about Jeff Metcalf and his wife or how they raised their kids. Well, he gonna push him, put his hands on a black boy because he's a racist bully. And so is his daddy. He been wanting to say that. God, Carmelo Anthony is still a child of God. And if he said he forgave him, he should never speak on that boy. That ain't what Christians do. He got people crying with him, all on Nancy Grace. She a deceiver. I used to like Nancy Grace. See, all of these people, True Colors show. Ain't nobody saying, why did that boy throw the first punch? They won't say that. Ain't nobody saying he shouldn't have threw the first punch. He started it. Nobody will ask Jeff Metcalf, what kind of sons did you raise to throw the first punch? Because I know in school, when somebody put their hands on you, it was going down. And they don't fist fight anymore. And if you surrounded by a whole bunch of people, baby, it's on and popping. But y'all want to act like none of this stuff happens. But you know, as you say, Breezy, we're under a system of white supremacy. And these people showed you in Texas that they don't give a damn about black people. And they showed you, baby, we're gonna get the judge, the DA, the prosecutor, the lawyers, we're gonna do this. And they talking about he's lucky. He got 35 years. But other people with the same crimes only got 10, some 30 days. Oh, he should have took the stand. No, he didn't need to take the stand. For what? What you want him to do? Cry, beg mercy? You still would have found him guilty. No matter what that boy would have did, y'all already knew what y'all was going to do to him. You dirty dogs. You dirty dogs. And all of you black people sitting up there talking about you got to know when to fold and you got to know how to move. Why somebody got to move different when somebody shoved them and put their hands on them? But hey, I'm here to tell you now, black people don't have no rights. If a white person touch you, please walk away because you won't win. You won't win in this United States of America. The white person will always win even when they wrong. They gonna make them guilty. So we can't teach our people to stand up and defend themselves because we have a legal system, a constitution where it don't apply to black people because they only consider us 3/5 of a human being. And you people, all of y'all, Judge Joe Brown, you sickening. You're sickening. You're sickening the way you talking about this kid. Jason Whitlock, you sickening. You had that man on your show. Why didn't you ask him? Why did his son throw the first punch? Nancy Grace, you sickening. His kid threw the first punch. Nobody's not questioning his parenting. All of y'all. April Chapman, all of y'all, bloggers, the Cartier family, all of you black bloggers that's talking about this boy, Gotham City, all of y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. That boy, he didn't throw the first punch. He didn't start it. But I don't know. That's what they do for coons. Then don't tell me about having Christian values. Or what he should have did when somebody put their hands on you. All of y'all are sick and pathetic. Your mamas, everybody was raised when somebody put their hands on you. You defend yourself. And why isn't nobody else asking Jeff Metcalf why his son threw the first, why he shoved Carmelo, or why he felt the need to tell him he had to leave, since he claiming like they were good Christian boys. He raised them to love everybody. Yeah, right. Y'all love them people. Y'all pathetic. You pathetic. You're sickening. All of y'all. Anybody that says that boy should be in prison. He's a murderer. He's this. He didn't start it. He got shoved first. And this is April Showers. And this will be my last time reporting on this case. Because only thing this case has taught me is that it's their world here in this United States of America. It's their world. It's their world. We will never win. Black people will never win when it comes to getting in trouble. They're going to shoot you down even when you're innocent. They gonna hunt you down. The lynching has never stopped. And I'm a traumatized black woman. I done look at Eric Gardner be choked by police officers in a method that he shouldn't, that the police shouldn't have been using, and got away. I look at George Floyd, Derek Chauvin, had his knee on this man's death, and y'all want to talk about black fatigue. And I'm looking at an Asian man chasing down a black boy, hunting him down like a dog and getting away with it. And you had a black man defending them. What the what the hell is really going on? We'll never be united. Cause some of y'all done forgot where you done come from. You done forgot what your parents told you coming up. I would love to see some of y'all get pushed or knocked down by somebody and see what your reaction would be. Some of y'all that's saying this boy need to be in prison. Some of y'all calling him names while he didn't throw the first punch. You hypocrites. You downright dirty hypocrites is what you are. And all of you Christians, all of you dirty folks, calling someone a derogatory name like watermelon felon contradicts core Christian teachings regarding speech, love, and human dignity. Jeff Metcalf, you ain't no Christian. You didn't forgive that boy, because if you did, that those words would have never came out of your mouth. If you truly forgave him. But you know what you raised. But you want to flip the script and blame it on him. Your son started it, Jeff Metcalf. And that's what we need to have more people doing videos saying Austin Metcalf started this. He started it. But remember, you're black in the United States of America. So when somebody white puts their hands on you, don't do nothing, because you'll never win. Walk away. You can't even call the police, because they'll lie and they'll change the story around. Because we're still under white supremacy. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, don't be telling me I'm talking racist or nothing. I'm going by what I see. And I will be on this earth 64 years. And all I'm doing is seeing history repeat itself. And we're not going forward. We're just living in a revolving time circle that keeps going around and around. History keeps repeating itself. That's why I tell people I don't give a damn about Democrats, Republicans, who's in office. Don't none of these people care about me. No regular working woman. None of them politicians care about y'all. And then you people going against this boy, and he didn't start it. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Some of y'all mamas told y'all If somebody put their hands on them, you better go for what you know. Some of y'all parents sit y'all back outside and told you you better go out there and whoop their ass if they bullying you. And you niggas act like you done got so high and mighty. Oh, he shouldn't have did nothing. Well, no, you can't do nothing because white supremacy win. This is April Showers. Thank you for allowing me to do this show and to have an audience.